In my job market paper, I worked together with Diego Ramos Toro, and we studied the role played by compulsory military service in the process of nation building, focusing on the development of national values, such as the strength of the national identity, on certain civic values, such as going to vote and paying your taxes, and on the development of a more integrated society. Despite the well-documented importance of nation-building policies to promote a cohesive and stable society, and ultimately to foster long-run growth, and the historical prevalence of conscription around the world, there is very scant rigorous evidence around this question. Specifically, we estimate the long-term impact of serving in the military on outcomes related to national values, civic values, and social integration. We find that military service reinforces the strength of the national identity, but it does not affect the civic values of individuals. Importantly, we also find very robust evidence that serving in the military leads to more integrated individuals. People develop better attitudes toward outgroups from within the country, and for example, they develop a more diverse social network. In the second part of the paper, we also study the mechanisms. What aspect of military service achieves these results? And analyzing open-ended responses with text analysis techniques, we uncover that the main channel is the direct inculcation of values during the experience. Namely, national values and social integration were actively inculcated during conscription. We also find that intergroup contact is a relevant channel, although it only amplifies the baseline effects. Higher intergroup contact leads to stronger effects, but it doesn't drive them, because even among individuals that were not particularly exposed to outgroups during the experience, or individuals who served in the wrong region instead of a different one, we still find positive and significant effects. Importantly, we analyze this combining random variation in military service arising from the draft in Argentina during the 20th century with original survey data that we collected through 2 rounds of service, obtaining information for nearly 3,100 individuals from 29 different birth cohorts. Finally, we also analyze other potential mechanisms that could have explained these results, and we find no evidence that these effects are explained, for example, by combat exposure or by changes in labor market outcomes. We find no evidence that this is the case. At the end of the day, this provides evidence that a 1-year program can lead to lifetime changes on this type of outcomes. And in particular, this is being driven by peacetime military service. It is not about combat exposure, as I just said, or service during periods in which the country is at war. This is driven by peacetime military service, which has important implications, for example, for a compulsory civic service that is being currently discussed in many countries.